Y'all realize this isn't over yet, right? There's still one more thing that's gotta happen before this is over. The Super Bowl is on February 9th. Do you know what that means? Drake has to drop his album with P&D before February 9th. Because how is it gonna look if Kendrick Lamar get on stage dissing you super crazy in front of the whole world, and then you drop an R&B album afterwards? So Drake has to drop this album before the Super Bowl. But do you know what that means? It means the Kendrick album that's in the tuck is ready to go head up with Drake's next album. He's gonna drop his album on the same day as Drake no matter what happens. It's gonna be a remake of Kanye versus 50 Cent. Who sells more? This is the final blow that Kendrick wants to deal to Drake, because everybody talks about Drake outselling them, boom, boom, all that stuff. But if they drop at the same time and Kendrick outsells him, that'll be the thing that officially cuts Drake's head off. Kendrick Lamar wants a versus. He wants a 50 Cent versus Kanye scenario all over again. And it's gonna happen.
So guys, at the end of the day, it is all about fame and all about money, guys. That is what they do. Though at the front you might think, no, they are enemies, but no, it is simply who makes the money and who gets the fame. That's it.
From New York to Brazil, Buenos Aires, and then Antarctica, without ever coming up to the surface for air. And you can do it all at way more than 1,000 miles an hour on magnetic levitation trains, otherwise called maglev. One thing he told me, he went from Virginia to Los Angeles in 45 minutes. Do the math, 3,000 miles an hour. Most people don't even believe that there's a tunnel network.
Wow.
There are there are hundreds of thousands of miles of tunnel systems.
This is the true story behind Peter Pan, and it's truly horrifying. In the late 1800s, in a quiet castle town in Cornwall, England, a chilling rumor began to spread. Children were disappearing, vanishing from their homes without a trace. At the center of these disappearances was a boy named Peter. Peter was no ordinary child. He was a street orphan, barely 10 years old. But something about him was unsettling. He never aged. He despised living on the streets, yet never seemed to need food or warmth. And he had a charm no one could resist, especially children. One day, Peter approached a girl named Gretchen and her two brothers, Randy and Skip. He told them he could take them to a party where everyone wears white clothes and only celebrities are invited. That night, Gretchen and her brothers vanished, just like the others. The townspeople whispered about the boy who never grew up, but one man wouldn't settle for whispers. A famed detective named Alonzo Jenkins arrived in town, determined to uncover the truth. After weeks of investigation, he followed Peter one night into the woods. The boy led him to an abandoned, eerie church on the edge of town. Inside, Peter's youthful face began to twist and contort, transforming into the visage of a terrifying, gaunt man with hollow eyes and a sinister grin. Jenkins froze in fear as the man turned and whispered, "Don't worry, I only consume the young. The old are of no use to me." Jenkins ran as fast as he could, returning with fellow officers. But when they arrived, the man was gone, and what they found inside the church was beyond horrifying.
Celebrities' houses then versus now.
Justin Bieber. Then. Now.
Wow, massive.
Taylor Swift. Before. Now.
Wow.
Selena Gomez. Then. Now. Jennifer Lopez. Before. Now. Rihanna. Then. Now. Cardi B. Then.
Okay.
Now.
Massive.
Beyonce.
Yes.
Before. Now. Eminem. Before. Now.
Guys, so let us understand that, these people own millions of dollars, so they can build and live that kind of luxury life. So
It's called the...
Guys, see me or what? I'm not saying anything so scary about the video, but did you see something that I didn't see? Then if you saw something, then kindly type it in the comment section so I know your thoughts on this video.
glitter conspiracy. So there's these main glitter manufacturing, it's called GlitterX, and one guy from the New York Times went, and it was like weirdly top secret. He was talking to one of the higher ups
Because there's a shortage.
yeah, so
That's the biggest
apparently
thing.
there's a shortage in the world.
He started talking to him just because he's like, okay, so there's a shortage. What's happening? Who's your bit? Like, he's just asking questions.
Yeah, and so he asked if he can get a tour of the place, and the guy's like, absolutely not.
Why?
He said you can't. He said you can't see the glitter being made.
Why?
He said you can't even be in a room next to it and hear how it's being made.
What about the sound of it being made would
Don't know.
ruin
What if
the
it's just
secret?
aliens? But he asked the lady, who are the biggest buyers? There's one company, she said, that is the biggest buyer of all glitter. And he says, what is it? And she said, she's like, I can't tell you that. Or he said, if I looked at it, would I know it's glitter? Talking about the product that they use this glitter in, the main buyer of glitter. And she said, no, not really. She said, they don't want anyone to know that it is glitter.
Richard Harris, the actor who played the first Dumbledore, it was later in his life, he saw a picture with him sitting in front of a Rolls Royce. He's like, I don't have a Rolls Royce. I've never owned a Rolls Royce. And it said that he was like so confused by it and asked like everyone he knew, he's like, do I own a Rolls Royce that I like don't know about? And then it said that he like contacted his two ex-wives. He's like, did I ever buy a Rolls Royce for me or you?
You guys?
And they're like, no. Turns out he had a drinking problem.
Oh no!
And he was in New York, and this guy gifted him a Rolls Royce, and he left it in a parking garage in New York City, completely forgot about it for
Wow.
like 20 years.
It's still there?
Still there, and the parking fee was over $400 a month. So he paid over $90,000 to have this Rolls Royce parked there. But he was so rich, like he's just like,
Yeah, he's got that
he's like,
Hogwarts money.
I don't know what this bill is, but yeah.
Oh my
But
gosh!
he owned a Rolls Royce and completely forgot about it.
That is insane. Could you imagine owning a Rolls Royce and forgetting about it?
Did you know that
Yeah, guys, and that is why alcohol is so at times becomes so serious. That's why we shouldn't get drunk. You can drink, but don't get so drunk, because mostly if you are drunk, you might forget the things that happen when you are in that drunken state.
there are 3 countries the Bible actually warns us to stay away from? These places are tied to ancient stories of curse and destruction, and today, their history still carries a dark legacy. Let's take a look at where the Bible says we should never go. First up is Iraq, home to the ancient city of Babylon. Babylon was known for its immense wealth, power, and arrogance. According to the Bible, the people of Babylon turned away from God and built temples to false gods. It was a city that defied divine principles, and as a result, Babylon was cursed. Next on the list is Jordan, closely tied to the tragic tale of Sodom and Gomorrah. The Bible tells us these cities were destroyed because of their extreme immorality. The towns were consumed by fire and brimstone, and nothing survived. Finally, there's Nineveh, located in modern-day northern Iraq. Nineveh was a powerful and prosperous city, but its people were prideful and ignored the warnings of the prophet Jonah. They refused to change their ways, and the city was eventually destroyed as a result of their disobedience. So, after hearing this, do you think these places are cursed? What's your take on the Bible's warnings? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
If you guys ever
Guys, so about what the Bible says that we shouldn't visit those cities. No, it was then, it was, thousands of years ago, but now those cities have changed, they have evolved, even they have even changed the name, so I don't think we shouldn't visit them again. Time changes, right? So we can still go there,
about the Pyramid of the Sun in Bosnia. This archaeologist man was looking at this mountain and it had perfectly 4 sides. And he's like, that kind of looks like a pyramid. And so he started doing excavations and stuff.
Yeah.
He found these giant stones perfectly stacked. In the middle of these blocks was geopalmer, which is like an ancient cement. This pyramid was built based off carbon dating 35,000 years ago. The Great Pyramid, 7,000. This is where it gets really weird. He got shut down because Zahi Hawass, the lead Egyptologist in Egypt, pleaded with the Bosnian government saying, don't let him look into this any further.
Weird.
And so the Bosnian government's like, you can't go dig up anymore. The whole story just got swept under the rug. And then over 50 archaeologists came out to observe it themselves. And they're like, this is a pyramid. If you get a satellite image of this place, there's 2 other mountains that have a pyramid shape to them. It's just so weird that every single culture had a giant pyramid.
Look.
Yeah, so it is really freaking scary. So if most places are having their own pyramids, then why are they there? And which people were able to build such pyramids? There are so mysteries out there that we need to look into.
Closely at this photo from 1813. It's the city of Krakow in southern Poland, flooded. But this flooding is not normal. It can happen after a hurricane or cyclone, but much bigger. Take a look at the surrounded building that is half submerged. The flooding has been so bad that other nearby buildings are almost completely submerged. So what could have caused this flood in 1813? It was caused by the Great Flood of 1802 following a 600-foot tsunami. And the photograph shows the waters receding 11 years later, and the buildings that were underwater beginning to appear on top. Some have doubts, saying that the camera was invented in 1839, how they photographed the flood of 1813. Well, the camera was invented long ago during the Tartars, and after Tartaria was decimated, destroyed by the Great Flood of 1802, the camera was just reintroduced by parts that control the world today. So the photo in question was taken from the roof of another building, or more likely, from a flying object, for example, a balloon, which was used a lot at the time, and of an individual who survived the Great Flood and had a camera with them.
One of football's biggest conspiracy theories is the Aaron Ramsey curse. Every time Ramsey scored, a famous figure would die that day or the following day. Sounds ridiculous, but just watch this. It all started on the 1st of May, 2011.
Here's Van Persie. Get up on his left foot for a goal for Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey for Arsenal.
The president has just announced that we have caught and compromised to a permanent end Osama bin
2nd of October 2011.
This is Son. Driven in low and driven in, but it's Aaron Ramsey.
Unfortunately, that Apple is confirming that Steve Jobs has passed away after a battle with pancreatic cancer.
19th of October 2011.
Giroud, but Giroud came away with it. Gervinho, chance here for Ramsey, and Arsenal have the goal in stoppage time.
We are getting multiple reports now that Muammar Gaddafi, the dictator of Libya, has been killed today.
11th of February 2012.
Back again, Arteta. Driven in by Ramsey! Inside of the post and in! What an introduction for Aaron Ramsey!
Singer Whitney Houston, one of the greatest voices of our generation, CNN has gotten confirmation from a representative, has died.
30th of November 2013.
Both players have made a lot of appearances. That's a great ball in from Ozil! Oh, and guess who scored? It's Aaron Ramsey again!
Shocking news from Hollywood this weekend. Actor Paul Walker, who began acting as a child, then starring in the Fast and Furious films, dying in a car crash.
10th of August 2014.
Sanogo, he's got support. Arsenal lead 2-0.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's a typical Aaron
Aaron Ramsey moment.
We have just received word from the West Coast, tragic, devastating word that Robin Williams has been confirmed dead. He was 63 years old.
9th of January 2016.
Mary. Return from Campbell. There's Ramsey. It's 2-1. And that's what Arsenal can do to you.
Some breaking news in to us just now this morning. It's been confirmed that David Bowie, singer and musician, has died at the age of 69 this morning.
13th of January 2016.
Wow.
Manchester City forward, but here's a problem for them, a big problem for them, because here is the equaliser.
Legendary British actor Alan Rickman has died after a brief battle with cancer.
Make of it what you will.
So now you're...
Wow. I think the guy has really done his research. But at times, it can just be a coincidence, guys. You know, but that is my opinion and my thought on this. What of yours? Is it really true what he's saying?
Saying you can't go to the end of the earth if it's flat. Why can't you go to it? If
Well, it's not legal, but you can go, like, for example, Admiral Byrd. He's a guy who I completely trust. He died shortly after testifying.
Yep.
He went past the ice wall.
Sure.
And when I say the ice wall is the end of the earth, that's as far as I know. But a guy named Admiral Byrd, he said, I flew to Antarctica. It was ice. It's the ice wall. He saw the ice wall, and then he kept flying past it. And there was more land past the ice wall. And he said it's the greenest grass he ever seen. So they might actually be hiding land past Antarctica.
Wow, this is so shocking, guys. So if someone was able to fly across the Great Wall and could see a whole land and greens, it means that there's a whole life form at the back of the Great Wall, that is the Antarctica. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things for us to learn. And thank you very much for watching the video, guys. Remember, click on the like button, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.